How you doing? How you doing? And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Patty, and you might be like, Patty, you seem a little light on your feet, bro. What's going on? So as you guys might have heard, invites have been sent out for the Genshin Impact beta, and your boy has a confession to make. I'm in that beta, and I've known since like the beginning of June. So I got accepted into the content creators program with Genshin Impact, and they sent me a nice, awesome email kind of breaking things down for me when they accepted me. And one of the things was that I was not allowed to disclose certain stuff in the email. Apparently, what I am specifically not allowed to do is show, like, the email itself or quote it directly. Reason I know that now is that last night, before the announcement was made that it was going to be the third closed beta test was starting on July 2nd, like an hour or so before that, we all got tagged in the official Genshin Impact Discord, and a content creator channel. Like, there's a special little section for us that gives us a whole bunch of information, lets us talk directly with the staff. And it's amazing. So I now know the rules. They gave us a awesome press kit. There's not only one that's provided by MiHoYo themselves, but the mods themselves have also created one and put so much work into it, like an insane amount of work. They have put hundreds of hours collectively between them into putting together for all this stuff outside of just the stuff that they already do for managing Discord. So you guys are amazing. You have earned Patty's love and respect for like all time. Just the rest of entire time. You got it. So just standing ovation for me. You guys are absolutely amazing. And speaking on that, we got a little video that I can go ahead and kick off in the background here. So a little bit of things. Let me go ahead and read some stuff on the game. Oop, just lost the window. Did I lose the window? Oh no, Patty's losing windows. Alright, so for those of you that don't know anything about Genshin Impact is an open world RPG set in the fantasy continent of Teyvat. A lively world of massive freedom featuring engaging stories, multiple characters with distinct personalities, elemental skills, and talents in realms of their unique charm. Players will take the role of the enigmatic traveler, set off the voyage of finding their lost sibling and ultimately unraveling the mysteries of themselves and the world. So, for those of you that haven't seen anything on this game, it is almost like it's an open world, like kind of think of, I don't want to say Breath of the Wild because that comparison got made a lot, and there's a lot of memes about about that, but I think that's kind of just like the coloring style and the shading and some of the stuff. But this game is essentially an open world action RPG, and it's got gacha elements to where, there's characters that you unlock free, there's characters that you get through the story, and then there's characters that you can potentially pull, and then run around the world with, build and level up and do all kinds of crazy stuff. It's pretty memey. And there's a couple of other things that I want to touch on real fast. So the company themselves, MiHoYo is also, I guess, Taku's Save the World, was founded in February 2012 and headquarters in Shanghai, China. MiHoYo is a leading interactive entertainment company known for its original IP and global hit Honkai series, with a portfolio spanning across video games, manga, novella, and an extreme dedication to quality. MiHoYo thrives to deliver its passion to like-minded players and creates an everlasting communities on a global level. I like that mission statement. I've, spent several years working in IT and being around a lot of high-level corporate entities, and what they're saying there rings true when I've looked at everything else for their other games. Everything that I've heard from other people that have spent years playing their games. This gaming company is pretty stand-up. Like, there's not a whole lot of shady business whatsoever. A lot of the game is like, so all the characters you get through the story, you can use to beat the story. You don't have to spend a single dime on this game ever, and if you have the worst RNG in the world, you can still beat the game. And that's important to me, because there's a lot of games now that don't have that built into it. Some of the older gachas like Summoner's War, yeah, there are farmable teams that you could get to clear all endgame content. Was it difficult? A little bit. But there's games now like, Raid Shadow Legends for one. One of the reasons I stopped covering that game and stopped giving it any attention was the fact that you absolutely cannot, do everything in that game with farmable champions. Like, you have to pull certain monsters to be able to do certain things in that game. And I have an issue with that because that's a little bit predatory. And there's some other, mobile gaming models that can be pretty rough. Treadmill games, if you're a Dragon Raja person, you know exactly what I'm talking about with the treadmill. And this game doesn't have a whole lot of that. This game is very straightforward, and like let's actually take a look at something real quick. So like I just want to show you guys some character skills, stuff like that, some little breakdowns that I have. Again, thanks to those mods on the Discord, you guys are absolutely amazing. So we can see some basic character information here. If we start scrolling down, we can start seeing talents that affect some of their skills. And a couple of interesting things that I want to touch on right here. So talent 1, Marksman. For every level that you get in it, it enhances auto attack, aim shot, and charge shot increase, which I'm guessing, are 2 other skills that are not tied to your auto attack. I don't believe so. So we've got first hit, second hit, third hit, fourth hit, fifth hit, aim shot, and charge shot. That first hit through fifth hit sounds like it's something coming off the auto attack. Like the auto attack is potentially a 5-hit chain, which if that's the case, that's really awesome. Or there's a mechanic built into the skill that makes each hit, either increase in damage or have some other effect. That's great character design. They could have just gone with, auto hit is just auto hit. You base attack, that's it, and then it's got skills. The fact that you're seeing that level of depth in an auto attack means really good things to me personally when I'm looking at what kind of decisions has this company made, what kind of game have they put together. And little things like that mean a lot to me because it means that they, take extra steps to go that extra mile, that they're really focusing on building something that will stand for itself and its quality will be why it's successful everywhere. Not because of, marketing campaigns or any deceitful practices. It's the product itself that's the focus. And a lot of people that I've talked to that played Honkai Impact 3rd, have echoed similar sentiments that the game is really, really, really free to play friendly and very, very satisfying and fun. So if you're on the fence about, looking into this game, you might want to be thinking about it. They doing some things. And then nothing super crazy here. I'll just kind of scroll through it so that you guys are able to get an eye on it yourself. We start getting into constellations, and I'm not exactly sure what these are and how they go into gameplay. Because obviously I haven't gotten my hands on it myself yet, and once we do, we'll figure out a whole lot more things. But all of these things kind of just look like they're, leading into there being great character development. Like you progress your character and have a pretty... I don't want to get too much into the builds yet because I want to go ahead and wait until we get to the weapons tab on that one. But I'm seeing a lot of signs of a very healthy game that allows people to do the things that they want to do with their builds. And it looks super interesting. Another thing that I want to touch on real quick. So we've got ascensions here, and we've got, level 20, 2-star, level 40, 3-star, level 60, 4-star. So obviously this is where some gacha elements are starting to be worked in. And these are for your character. These are the resources that it's going to take to level up Amber from, level 22 star to make her a 3-star. Having an action game with like an open world action game with elements of a gacha, where typically that kind of progression cycle is, limited to turn-based games or very, at least, inactive gameplay. The fact that we're getting a system like this with a game where you're already actively doing so much, I love it. I love it. I think that's absolutely amazing. I don't know if once you ascend, if your levels reset or if you retain your level and now you just have to go from, say, 20 to 40. I've seen that in a few games, so we'll have to see how that actually plays out once we get to it. But real quick, and let me go ahead and move me real fast. And we're going to back this out to a good... Good little 7. No, that's way too much. That's way too much. How about a 90? Yeah, 90 works. 90 works. I'm covering up the skills, but that's the least important thing here. So these are the weapons. We've got a couple of different tabs where we can see what weapons are in the game and what effects they have on them. And there's a pretty decent amount. It's definitely, you know, not a small selection. And if we actually stop and, you know, read some of these, so let's take a look at. Let me scroll up so you can see the name. Iron Shadow Broadsword here. The ability on it is unyielding. When the health is below or less than 50%, the critical hit will not be easily interrupted. Increase the critical hit damage by 35%. So for a 3-star weapon out of, you know, potentially 5-star weapons, we're already seeing things like crit damage up by 35%. If my Raja people, how many ways in the game do you have to increase your crit damage? Only a handful, and they're all allies. And they're very difficult to get allies. And then even after you get them, you have to get enough things to be able to ascend them. So you have to get other duplicate 5-stars and be able to break them down to be able to ascend them and get still like only 20-25% bonus to your crit damage. So the fact that that's something on a 3-star weapon in this game, again, just more signs that we're looking at something that is good, that the quality is there, and there's not a treadmill, there's not I'm seeing a lot of very healthy game practices. And I was born in America, raised a capitalist, but I think that you do better as a business or as a individual when you are doing the best thing that you possibly can, when your product is the best that it could possibly be. Can you make a lot of money through misleading marketing campaigns? Absolutely. Can you combine something like that with pretty lackluster components putting the product together? Oh, most definitely. That's very, very commonly done. So for the focus to be making something great enough to stand on itself and become famous worldwide, I can see them trying to do that through things like this in the game that are just great for the player. There's not a huge hurdle that you have to do. It's very accessible. That's the word I want to think. That's what I was looking for. It's very accessible. Having good, impactful things in your game that are very accessible for players is a must. You're going to have a happier player base. The happier your player base is, the longer they're going to be playing. The longer that they're playing, the more likely they're going to be to spend money. So you have a better, happier community spending more money when you make a better game. That is just my philosophy. So I won't throw any stones at any glass houses. But there are games out there that intentionally obscure a lot of information and make it very difficult to know how well you're doing or what any benchmarks are, so that you are as lost at sea as humanly possible and more likely to spend money to either knowingly get ahead, because that's the clearest route forward, or having to spend money to make up for mistakes. And that's predatory as shit. I am not a fan of that. And I see nothing in this game that makes me think that will ever be a concern of this one. So I am very, 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 very grateful and happy to have a chance to cover this game, to be part of the content creators team. Just because I'm in the content creators team doesn't mean that I have to shower the game with praise. That is not a stipulation whatsoever. This is me genuinely being excited, enthused, and really looking forward to being able to work on this game. So you're gonna be seeing some Genshin Impact content. Hope you're here for it, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, we'll be starting that on July 2nd, I suppose. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. It's been your boy Patty, and you're gonna have to catch your boy in the next one, because we out of here. Deuces.